Hello and welcome to part 123 of Let's Play Dangan Ronpa. When we left off, the music was actually working correctly, and Asahina was saying dot 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 dot. Sorry about that, Asahina, I couldn't... A shoe? This right here, as I recall, the spilled powder in the chem lab. I apologize if you have epilepsy. I'm kidding, that shouldn't trigger it. Was yellow too, was it not? So it's not unreasonable to infer that the powder on her foot is the same powder spilled at the chem lab. Why would there be powder from the chem lab on her foot, on top of her foot? Because she was in the lab when the powder was spilled. What I'm saying is, I believe it was Ugami herself who spilled the powder in cabinet C. Asahina's just come. And she dropped the... Sorry, I hit a button. I don't get why there's two buttons that cause it to skip forward. When she dropped the bottle, the powder spilled away from her, so she was able to avoid the majority of it. But some of the powder must have gotten kicked up and stuck on her shoe. Adds up, doesn't it? Which begs the question, why did Ugami go to cabinet C? And the reasonable answer being, she was there for the poison after all. What else is in that cabinet? No, you're wrong, it was me. I brought her the poison. Because I'm the one who killed her. No, you didn't kill her. The culprit, the murderer, being considered both the truth behind the poison and the still unsolved sealed room. There's only one person it could be. Now, of course, this time I've actually gotten a bit more fucking information than last time, where I was like, I don't know who the fuck it is. Bappity boopity. Sorry, that's not racist. That's not racist. Ugami was killed by Ugami herself. What did you say? Ugami herself is the culprit? Just saying it was a suicide? That's crazy talk. Crazy from people who jump off buildings thinking they can fly. Yeah, it's hard to believe. I don't even want to believe it. But if you look at things like that, all the pieces fall into place. Ugami retrieved the poison herself and she ingested it of her own will. Put an end to her own life. And then there's the sealed room. It makes perfect sense why we couldn't figure it out. Over because it was constructed by the victim herself. The sealed room is constructed from the inside by Ugami herself. She likely sealed the room to prevent anyone from interfering with her. She then took the poison, ending her life. Until the seal on the rec room was broken, the poison bottle was inside the room. After the seal was broken, someone removed it. That was you, Asahina, wasn't it? Everything you did was to steer our investigation off track, am I right? When we discovered Ugami's body, you were just standing by the door, because you already knew she was dead. As well as the fact that the poison bottle was there on the floor by the entrance. That's when you picked up the bottle, isn't it? While Kurigiri and I were distracted, me shocked by Ugami's death and her busy checking for a pulse. Plus, thinking back on it now, your behaviour then was a little peculiar. I gotta go get them. Gotta go get everyone else. Asahina staggered out of the rec room. You said you were going to get everyone else. However, your true destination was the chem lab where you could exchange containers. When you arrived at the lab, you went straight to cabinet A where the protein was stored. You filled the empty poison bottle with protein, and left it. And we left with just the empty protein container. That would then explain the footprints too. After that, you rushed to go get the others, returned to the rec room. I brought them. Whoa, Hoga. Well, looky here, big girl's gone bye-bye. I see, Ugami's been murdered. And while everyone's eyes were on Ugami's body, you quietly set the protein container on the floor. I should have realized it right then and there. Normally you would have rushed over to Ugami's body before any of the rest of us. In that situation you would not have left Ugami's side. Ugami committed suicide, and then you planted fake evidence to hide that fact. As long as you could keep the truth from coming out, you didn't care. You yourself became a suspect. That's why you didn't do anything about the footprints in the chem lab of a protein-filled poison bottle. You intentionally left those incriminating pieces of evidence for us to find. So you're saying Asahina tampered with the scene to make it look like she was the killer? No. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm the killer. I murdered Sakura. Bloody hell. I know people have odd things on their bucket list, but you don't need to be that, like, over the top with yours. That's enough, Asahina. It's all over. No, it's not over. It is over. No, we have to end it. We have to put an end to this. I'm done with the bullshit. Oh, fuck knows this. This is so confusing that I don't even... Not that one, you freaking retard. Togami. Hold on. That's not the right one. This is... Where is it? Yeah, I think that's the right one. Ah, crap. Ah, crap. I carry on hitting the button next to the one I want. This is much too long a thing. Ah. That means I missed one. There it is. Oh wait, I think the Monokuma bottles are the wrong way around. How the hell am I meant to know which chess piece went where? Alright, let's do this. I'll try at least. The case began with Ugami inviting 3 people to meet her in the rec room. Hurry, Fukuwa and Ugami. For the 3 of them, Fukuwa was first to enter the rec room. Even before anyone else, she hid herself somewhere in the room. The hiding place was inside the rec room locker. From there, she watched as Ugami entered the room. The next person to enter the rec room is Hagakure. Mistakenly assuming Ugami intended to kill him, he freaked out. Instinctively grabbing one of the nearby Monokuma bottles and attacking her with it. Believing himself to have just accidentally murdered Ugami, Hagakure set to work planting a red herring. He saw a magazine lying on the table and wrote a certain person's name in it, intending it as a fake dying message. Fukuwa, by writing her name in the magazine, he attempted to shift blame for his crime onto her. But Fukuwa herself had fallen witness to the whole thing from inside the locker. She stepped out of the locker, retrieved the fake evidence, and returned to the magazine rack. However, in doing so, she slipped up. When she put the magazine in the rack, she put it back upside down. Just moments later, Ugami regained consciousness and appeared before Fukuwa. And she passed out of the sight of the blood on Ugami's face. As a result, her genocide show personality gained control, and when she woke up, she was once again greeted by Ugami's blood-covered face, and as we would expect, she was freaked out. Just as Hagakure had done, she grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Ugami with it. This explains why she had 2 wounds on her head. Believing herself to have just killed Ugami, Genocide got to work disposing of the evidence. She collected the broken bottle fragments and the Monokuma figure holding the queen. With that, Ugami had been struck twice with the same weapon. But despite that, she was still alive. So here's the question: what is the true cause of death? The answer: poison. She herself took from the cab lab. She sealed the rec room from the inside, preventing anyone from entering, and then took the poison, ending her own life. Next, we found a corpse. I broke a window in the rec room's door to get in. However, someone there already knew that Ugami had committed suicide. They snuck out with the poison bottle. And replaced it with a protein container when no one was looking. In doing so, they brought suspicion onto themselves to lead us away from the truth during the class trial. And the person who did all this is you, Atsuhina. And that is the truth behind this case. Ugami took her own life. You claimed that you were the culprit to hide that fact, didn't you, Asahina? That's the truth? But Nagi, how did the likes of you reach that conclusion when I was unable to? Huh? Well, you still don't get it. Gain and loss are not the only criteria used to make decisions. That's what makes criteria humans use to make decisions. That's what makes them so complex. You don't understand that, and that's why you couldn't reach the truth. I warned you, didn't I? I feel like a consideration for human emotion would come back to haunt you. Yeah. Wow, I got through that entire thing with only dropping 18 points. Hells yeah, that must be like a million monomonomy. 82? What you talking about, Willis? Oh, I had 82 coins worth. Hey, you guys are making it sound like you think the punchline's already been delivered. You seem to be forgetting that we haven't had ballot time yet. Ah yes, that's right. You actually forgot? Man, you're no fun. But it's kind of a tradition, so I guess we've got to do it anyway, if just for show. That's a bit of a pain, but please cast your ballots using the switch in front of you. Wonder who the villain's gonna be. Will you be right or will you be oh so wrong? Let's find out. Correct. Yep, Sakuragami was murdered by Sakuragami. That's it, the end. So you guys were right. That's something I still don't get. What ended you attempt to cover up the truth behind Ogami's death, Asahina? Had you actually succeeded, you two would have been executed. Why would you do such a thing? Yeah, dude, you almost got us all killed. That was what I was going for. Huh? The reason Sakura died is because you all backed him into a corner. You all killed her. So, I couldn't let her be the only one who died. Girl, are you saying you wanted to drag us all down with you? Someone has to pay the price. Me, you, everyone, we're all responsible for her death. So we all should pay. You for real? What makes you think that? So don't get it? Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you just how much despair Sakura was in when she died. Look at this. I despair of everything. This constant fighting, it's ugly, and only serves to deepen my despair. If all I can do is wait for someone to kill me, I would rather end things by my own hand. What? I found it on the floor outside the rec room. It's Sakura's suicide note. A suicide note? In hindsight, there were clues she was planning to do this even before it happened. The day after Genocider attacked me, when Sakura ran out of the infirmary all angry about it, I chased after her. Hey Sakura, relax, I'm fine. How could I possibly relax? I cannot. If they come after me, I accept full responsibility for my actions. But for you to suffer because of me, for you, my dear friend, to stand up for me, and to be injured as a result, Sakura, because of me, because of what I have done, I have turned everyone against each other. I am responsible for everything. Sakura blamed herself. She felt responsible for everything. I'm sure the reason she wanted to talk to you there is to find out if there was anything she could do to earn your forgiveness. You're going to meet with them? It's a really bad idea. You're putting yourself in danger. Worry not, I'm simply going to speak with them. What about? You really shouldn't go. If all three of them came at you at once, even you couldn't. Do not mistake them for your enemies. They are our friends. Sakura? She trusted you guys. She really truly believed in you. That you would be able to understand if she opened up to you that you were her friends. And yet... you stomped all over her feelings in the worst possible ways. Well, that was more like an accident. Don't try to weasel out by calling it an accident. She trusted you guys and you wouldn't even give her the time of day. You very nearly killed her, without even hearing her out. She was in despair because of you. And that's what this note is saying. If all I can do is wait for someone to kill me, I might as well. That's how far you had her backed into a corner. Sakura, you're hurt. What happened? Asahina, so you came. Stay right there. I'll go and find something to get you bandaged up. Asahina, I am grateful to have had the opportunity to meet you here. What's wrong, Sakura? What is all of this all of a sudden? Could I ask you a favor of you? A favor? I would like some protein. Could I ask you to get some for me? Sure, yeah, hang on, I'll be right back with it. That was the last time Sakura and I ever spoke. I went to the chem lab to get the protein she asked for, and there was powder all over the floor. That's when I realized that Sakura had gotten something out of the poison cabinet. I ran back to the rec room as fast as I could, but I was too... Sakura! Open up! Open the door! Why? Why should you have to die, Sakura? I'm putting any emotion behind these voices, aren't I? Ah. I'm just reading it like I'm reading a script. Exactly why I didn't take drama. Sakura was just a regular person. She had weaknesses just like everyone else. She bled, she felt pain. She was just a regular, fragile human being. And yet you all kept demonizing her, kept accusing her of things. And when I got hurt trying to stand up for her, I burdened her even further. I didn't even realize what I had done. Asahina, we all killed Sakura. Backed her into a corner and killed her. There's no good reason for us to go on living after having done that to her. So you thought you tried to take us all down? You intentionally tried to lure us to the wrong conclusion? She died despairing everyone, and I wanted to get revenge for her. But you saw through me, and in the end, I couldn't do anything for her. Am I supposed to face her now? Hey, sorry for interrupting a sob story. But Holy Mother of God Almighty, does it ever end? I'm falling asleep in my chair here. And anywho, do you really think you can know what Ogami was thinking as she died, Asahina? What's that supposed to mean? Let's be honest, most of what you've been rambling on about for the last ever is just your interpretation. Interpretation predicated on that suicide note. Of course I know, Sakura and I were... If you'd let me finish, I was trying to say the basis of your interpretation is invalid, and that this baby might, possibly, mayhaps be a real thing. What's that, dude? As if it weren't obvious enough. It's a suicide note. Ugami's. Suicide note? But didn't Asahina already... I wrote that one. This one was left in your room, Asahina. Ugami must have wanted you to have it. Wait, so... You tricked me? Tricked is such a harsh way of putting it. Just wanted to spice things up a bit, that's all. Anyway, you're responsible for whatever you decided to believe my silly scribbles meant. I mean, it's not like Ugami's name is anywhere on it. That's not fair. Nothing unfair about it. I didn't do nothing wrong. Did I plant fake evidence? Did I try to divert your attention from the true culprit? You guys are the reason this happened, and you guys are the reason it got so messy. I didn't do anything. So what if that suicide note was a spark that set it all off? It was still all you guys' work. I'm totally in the clear. It was just part of the show. So what does a real suicide note say? If you really want to know, I'll read it to everyone with my world-renowned beautiful voice. By the way, don't you kind of wonder just who exactly came up with the idea of people leaving notes behind before committing suicide? Sadly, I'm willing to bet that whoever it was has already taken their own life. We'll never know. It's scary to think how things can just get washed away on the river of time like that. Do we just get started already? Yeah, here I go. My dear friend Asahina, there is something I must share with you. Although it pains me to do so in this fashion, it is something I would like you to know. This is my final wish. As you have already been made aware, I served under the Puppet Master as his mole. The Puppet Master initially approached me on the first night of his bizarre new life. He professed to have me taken hostage in my clan's dojo and ordered me to submit myself into his service. You might think it naught but a simple place of training, but it has been in my clan's care for 300 years. I could not let it fall with my generation, and felt the need to protect it, even in exchange for my own life. It was that sentiment from which my weakness flowed, and by which I was driven to comply with the Puppet Master's demands. I made a grave mistake. He bid me to take someone's life. He was concerned about the equilibrium forming among the students, but the first murder would not occur. However, neither he nor I predicted that Sayaka Mizono would take action before I was to. Consequently, as orders changed, I was to remain on standby to wait for equilibrium to begin forming again. Thus our lives continued together. As life with you, Asahina, continued, my resolve shook. Watching you all struggle, fight tooth and nail to survive. Skip made me painfully aware of the weakness I held within, the weakness that drove me to succumb. But above all, it made me aware that I could not betray those who considered me their friend. My perspective began to change. So that's why she... And on that note, folks, I'm gonna end this episode, because if I don't, I'm gonna run out of time not to do my outro. So I've got like 7 seconds or so. Next episode on the top right for the final episode of chapter 4. Previous on the top left for whatever the hell happened last time.